Hi everyone, my name is Muna and I like to read tarot. If you enjoy tarot readings and pick a card readings that help you on your road to self-love and being the best you that you can be, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content like that. Today I felt like doing a reading on how to be confident. So if that's something you're interested in, keep watching. I have placed 3 crystals in front of you. This is crystal 1, this is crystal 2, and this is crystal 3. Please pick the crystal which you are most drawn to. If you find this difficult, however, you can alternatively close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and meditate on which crystal is the right crystal for you. And when you are ready, please refer to the timestamp in the description box below, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, if you're tuning into this reading, that means you picked the first crystal. You have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. No, you don't. You have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry. You have the Ace of Cups in the upright, the 10 of Wands in the upright, the King of Cups in reverse, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, and the King of Swords in the upright. So what I'm getting right off is that if you want to be confident, you have to focus on the things that you love, the things that bring you enjoyment, and devote your energy into doing those things. You might have a hobby, or there might be a certain career path that you've always been interested in, but you haven't given it the attention that you would like to give it. And I think this reading is telling you that you should. Focus on what makes you feel good, what uplifts you, what makes you feel full, what makes you feel free. Whatever it is, when you do it, it doesn't seem like work. It just is absolute fun to you, and you can spend hours doing it and time just flies by. If you want to be confident, you have to, I think it's just as simple as, if you want to be confident, you just have to devote your time doing the things that you love. Because as of now, you don't do that. You probably devote your time to things that you have to do more so than you want to do. And it feels like a chore. It feels like a burden. It feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders. For instance, if you have a job that you don't really like all that much, but of course, you go to that job because you have to pay bills, you have to eat food, you have to survive. And so it's not really, it's helping you survive, but it's not helping you in terms of building your self-esteem. It doesn't inspire you. It doesn't motivate you. It's not something that you feel is what you were put in this world to do. It's not, you're not living your purpose. It's just a job that has to get done, and so you do it. But it's just not, it's not exciting. It doesn't excite you at all. It's just a responsibility. And you're being responsible by doing it. You're being an adult by doing it. But there's no love there. There's not a lot of love or joy there. And if you want to be confident, then you have to sit down and think about, what are the things that bring you joy? What do you love doing? Because right now you spend more time doing the things that you don't like doing as opposed to the things that you do like doing, because those things that you don't like doing is the responsible thing to do, as I've said. But you need to dedicate more time in your schedule to doing things just that are for pure enjoyment. You have to dedicate more of your time to doing that, because those things are what fuels you with life. Those are the things that make your life worth living. Those are the things that excite you and motivate you and inspire you to do more for yourself and more for others. So right now, I don't think you're doing much for yourself. So like I said, you have to sit down and really think about what it is that you love to do. What hobbies do you have? What hobbies have you neglected? Or what people do you like being around? What friends don't you see enough of? What family members who you like being around? How much time have you spent with them lately? I feel like you're just a very responsible person and you're someone who believes in fulfilling their duties as an adult, or I feel like I just get a sense that there's a tunnel vision, that you know what you need to get done just because it's the responsible thing to do, and you don't see the importance of just having fun for the sake of fun, because that's not a responsible thing to do. You can't just dedicate some of your time to having fun, because I just get the sense that you feel like there's no time for that. Or maybe it's just over time you've just gotten into this routine where you just dedicate all your time to working, so then when you don't have to work, you're just so tired and exhausted from all the responsibilities you have to do for the day that you don't have enough energy to do what you love. So you probably just, I wouldn't even call it relaxed, because I get this image of you just laying down or sitting down watching reruns or television shows, and you could call that relaxing, but I don't think you truly relax in that. I just feel like it's just pilot mode. It's just, I don't, because even then I don't feel like when you sit down and watch TV and things like that, I don't feel like there's much enjoyment in that. You may find the shows that you're watching to be interesting, but I just feel like it's just a habit. It's just something you do out of habit. It doesn't really, I wouldn't call that the fun that this reading is talking about. I don't think that's the kind of fun it's talking about, because I just think it's just, it's the easy thing to do. It's convenient to just sit down and watch TV and just consume the information that it's giving you. There's no real effort on your part to do that. It's just, like I said, you're on pilot mode and you're just receiving all this information, but it's not really, it's just a regular part of your day because it's convenient and it's easy. But whereas the fun that I think this reading is talking about would be like getting up and knitting or sewing or, I don't know, painting a picture. It's things that would take effort, but it wouldn't feel like effort because you enjoy doing those things so much. So right now, I just think you're very hard on yourself. You are a responsible person, and I feel like you need to cut yourself some more slack. I'm also hearing that in doing these hobbies or activities that bring you joy, it will help you find your own voice. It will help you find the things that you really care about in this world and the things that you believe in and would fight for. I feel like by developing your hobbies more, you will have a better sense of why it is you're here, what is unique about you, and what you have to offer to the world. Okay, so right now I'm just getting the image of a cog in a machine. I'm not sure if it's called a cog, but I'm just getting the image that I don't want to say that anyone could do what it is that you do in your job, but I just don't feel like it requires a lot of effort on your part. I feel like it's so easy to you, or it's become so easy to you, it's almost second nature, that it doesn't require a lot of mental stimulation. You can sit down in your job and just do it without really thinking, without putting a lot of effort into it. It doesn't really require you to think outside the box. It doesn't really require a lot of your creativity. It doesn't require you to think big or it doesn't motivate you to want to do big things or help people or inspire people. It doesn't it doesn't motivate you whatsoever. It's just becomes so redundant. It's just becomes so redundant and habitual. Yeah, so right now, if you want to find confidence, if you want to build confidence in yourself, you just have to figure out what it is that does inspire you. What is it that makes you want to get up off your chair and do things? What makes you want to create? What makes you feel love towards the world? I'm getting the image of a bird. What would make you feel like a bird, free like a bird, soaring through the sky and flying? Right now, I feel as though you are someone who keeps to yourself. You keep things very close to yourself. And so probably people don't even know this creative side to you. You probably don't even know this side to you so much anymore because you've just neglected it for so long. But I do feel like you have skills in things that would surprise people, but you keep it to yourself and you don't share it with the world. And if you want to be confident, I'm hearing that you should start sharing your skill with the world. Start showing them whatever it is that you have a skill in, because it will surprise people, and I feel like it will make people look at you differently, because right now I feel like they just see you in one way, and this will add another dimension to your character. They will see another side to you that they didn't even know existed, and they will like it. And I feel like it will help you open up. I get the sense that when you start delving into your hobbies and dedicating more of your time into developing the skills that you have in this certain hobby or whatever it is, you will naturally start to ease up and open yourself up to everyone, and it will give you more confidence in yourself, and you won't be so guarded. You'll have more of a willingness to show who you are to people, because right now you probably keep to yourself, and like I said, you just keep your head down, you do what you have to do, you do your responsibilities at work or at home or whatever. So if you do start delving into your hobbies, you will naturally start to open up more, and you will probably get more involved in the social circles or whatever this hobby is. So for instance, if this is knitting, like I said before, maybe you'll join a knitting club or a knitting group, or just going online and going on, do people do forums now still? Just going on forums, and say if you're tackling a difficult task in knitting, you don't have to knit. I don't know why I'm sticking to knitting, but knitting. If you're trying to figure out how to do something in knitting and you go online to try and figure it out, whether it's on YouTube or in forums, as I said, you'll probably connect with people who are into this hobby just as much as you are, and you'll start to gain friends in this, or just, I think it will just, you'll be more inclined to connect with other people and talk to other people more because they're into the same things you are. And I feel like you'll gain new connections in just devoting yourself to whatever hobby that this is. And it could be more than one hobby. Yeah, and I also see that it could be something that could evolve into a job. So for instance, like I said earlier, the job that you have now, it doesn't really motivate you, it doesn't inspire you. It's just a job it's just a job you have for the sake of having a job, because you have to pay bills and what have you. But whatever this hobby is, it could actually evolve into something more. You could start earning money from it. And yeah, it could, if you start dedicating time to it now, it could evolve into something that you will be fortunate enough to spend more time on as time goes by, because you're developing your skills in it. You might be able to create some sort of business from it, or create some kind of income from it, that eventually you can give up the job that you do have and dedicate more time to this hobby that's bringing you income, and it could just expand into something that could be your full-time job or whatever. And I think whatever this hobby is, it will just make you an all-round happier person. If you dedicate time into doing this hobby, whatever it is that brings you joy, it will make you a lot happier. You'll just enjoy life a lot more, and in turn that will boost your confidence, because you're spending time doing something you love. People will pick up on that. They'll notice your change in energy. They'll notice how you're a lot happier, because you're finally giving something to yourself that makes you feel good. And when you feel good, it's hard not to share that with other people. It can be something as simple as when you're walking down the street, you probably smile at people more. So, yeah, that is pretty much your message. If you want to be confident, how do you be confident? Spend time doing the things you love. It's as simple as that. You probably didn't even have to watch this reading to know that. I feel like that's something that you hear all the time. It's so cliche, it's so generic, but I think there's a lot of truth in that, and that's what this message is showing. You just have to give yourself time in your day to do what you love. And know that it's okay to give yourself time to just have fun and do the things you love. You probably feel a bit of guilt when you do things that's not directly related to work, or, paying bills and all that other kind of responsibility. You probably have to tap into just feeling like a child again, and knowing that it's okay to play sometimes, because participating in these hobbies, these things almost make us feel like a child again, because we're doing it for pure enjoyment. We're doing it because it makes us feel good. It makes us laugh. It makes us feel... it just makes us feel good. And so yeah, maybe pay attention to what the child in you wants to do. Do the things that feel like absolute play, because you can't just work all the time and think it won't affect you. Do the things that you love, that make you feel joy, that make you feel enjoyment, and your confidence will naturally boost, because you're finally devoting time to things that make your soul sing. Yeah, it will naturally boost your self-esteem, because I think I touched on this earlier. You'll just suddenly... I feel like you'll have a deeper appreciation of yourself. When you start to realize the skills that you have in other things, you'll just start to see how much you have to offer, how much of a well-rounded person you are, and how much you have to give. You're not a one-sided person. There's so many sides to you, and you'll be proud of that. You'll be proud of all these skills that you start to develop, and you will feel confident. I think that is how you will feel confident. So that is the end of your reading. I hope it resonated with you in one way or another. If it did, please let me know in the comment section below. And please comment on what other videos you would like to see. I'm very open to hearing what other content you would like to see. And if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to hit subscribe and like the video, and share it with anyone you think might benefit from this. And yes, enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun on your journey to being that bit more confident, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, if you're tuning into this reading, that means you picked the second crystal. You got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Magician in the upright, the Ten of Wands in the upright, the Page of Pentacles in the upright, the Two of Cups in reverse, and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Interestingly enough, the Ten of Wands came in the first reading. I don't know, this guy really wanted to show himself again. That was just an interesting fact of the day. Okay, so I get the sense that you feel as though you have to prove yourself. There is a very young energy here, and so I feel like probably you're just maybe young in terms of age, or just young in terms of your experience, or experience in work or life experience. I just feel like you get the sense that you're very inexperienced, and because of this you feel like you have to prove yourself in one way or another. Because with proving yourself, there's automatically this hierarchy of you seeing other people a little bit higher than you are, probably because they are more experienced than you and you don't feel experienced. You feel as though you have to prove yourself to these people. And if you feel as though you have to prove yourself to people, then you want to be validated by them. You want them to validate you. I feel like you are a hard worker. And I just keep getting the message that you want to prove yourself, that you're good enough, that you have what it takes. And maybe you're an apprentice or an intern in some... It's always work related. Maybe you're an intern or an apprentice in some environment, and so you're probably doing a lot to prove that you have what it takes to be there. You're trying to earn your right to be there, to prove to everybody that you're serious about wanting this, that you're serious about learning. I do get the sense that you're like a sponge, and you're in this environment and you're just taking in lots of information. You want to know every single detail so you can learn from it and you can be the best. You really want to be good at what you do. And you want to work your way to the top, and you're willing to do whatever it takes. I get the image of getting everyone's coffee and everyone just not really giving you that much attention. But you don't even care, because you know that this is just something that you have to get through in order to get where you want to be. You don't mind getting people's coffees. You don't mind running people's errands, just doing these small jobs. Yes, it's not exactly directed to what you want to do. There's no relations, but you know that this is just a phase, and you just have to do this to prove that you're serious, and eventually you'll get to do the thing that you really want to do. And maybe there's this sense of hierarchy, this sense of validating other people, because these are the people that you believe will open the doors for you. I'm hearing you have a lot more power than you realize. I don't get the sense that you don't have much confidence, or that you lack confidence. So why did you come to this reading? To be more confident? To be more sure of yourself? Maybe being this intern or this apprentice, please take this however it resonates in your situation. Even though you know it's what you have to do to get to where you want to be, it does wear you down, and it is burdensome. But I also feel like you feel you're in a position that you can't complain you can't complain about not being where you want to be, because again, I just get the sense that you really have this understanding that this is just what I have to do for now. Everyone starts at the bottom and I will get to where I want to be. But then you're also in two minds about something. Maybe even though you have this understanding, you're always in two minds as to whether you should put up with this or you should start somewhere else. And perhaps there is this sense of disrespect in this environment where you feel as though even though you're working so hard to prove yourself, people still aren't paying attention to you. And it's taking a toll on your self-esteem, because you feel as though you're doing everything you could possibly do for them. You're doing everything that they've asked of you, and still there's been no progression. And so you're in two minds about whether you should keep going or whether you should leave and go somewhere else, work somewhere else, or just start off on your own. I'm getting the sense whether you're trying to figure out whether it would be a smart move to leave whatever company or job it is you're working and just start on your own. Because I feel like you're doing so much work and it doesn't feel like it's adding anything. It's not adding to anything. And you feel as though you would rather do all of this work for yourself, because at least you know eventually it will add up to something. But then you're not sure whether that's a smart move, because at least you're in a company or you have a job in the field that you want to be in. So is it wise to then just leave, even though you know a lot of people would want to be in the position you're in, or it's just a blessing for you to even be in the position you're in right now, even though it's not what you wanted it to be, and even though it feels like it's not really doing anything for you. You know, I feel like you're fighting yourself in that you know that you should be grateful for where you are, but then is it really doing anything for you? Is it really going to get you where you want to be? Because so far you feel like it hasn't, and you're not sure that's going to change anytime soon. So it would just make sense that you would do this work on your own and work for yourself. At least you pay attention to you and they don't. I'm not going to tell you whether you should leave your job or not. That's just not my place. But I do feel like this is telling you to work for yourself. And that could be by leaving where you work, or it also could be simultaneously working for yourself at the same time that you're working at this job. And perhaps by doing this, by starting some kind of solo endeavor by yourself, perhaps the people in your work environment will start to take notice of you. They may not, but they will realize that I do feel like there's a resilience to you. That you will get up no matter what. But I'm just hearing that you need to find your power and realize how much power you have in creating the life that you want. If you persevere in the work environment that you are in, things will eventually start to shift, and people will start to notice what you have to bring to the table. Because like I said, there is a resilience about you. There is, no matter what life throws at you, no matter how much it tries to beat you down, you want this so much that you will get up every time and try again. And I think people will start to notice that about you. Whether you decide to leave your workplace or not, I think regardless, you do have to start working for yourself in some way or another. Whatever this is, just try and create some kind of momentum for yourself. It's hard to say what, because I'm not getting a clear message on what it is that you're working on or what kind of work area this is. But I'm hearing try and create something for yourself. And you'll be surprised at the kind of results that you have. So as of now, I get the sense that you're an intern or an apprentice in some kind of work environment. And I'm hearing that you have to take advantage of that, as you already are, I'm sure. And take all the knowledge that you can from this environment, because if they are not going to notice you and how much of an asset you are, it doesn't matter, because the knowledge you take from working there, it will still give you something. It will still teach you what you have to do in order to be a success. So take the knowledge that you can from this work environment and then use that knowledge to be a success in your own right. Use the knowledge and the skills you learn in this work environment to create a solo project or whatever it is for yourself. And see this work environment as a resource for the kind of information you need to know, the kind of skills you need to learn, the kind of market area this will apply to. Take all the information that you can, because it will help you. And then when eventually, if you feel down the road that you've acquired all the information you need to know, then maybe then you can leave, because you have enough information to be a success on your own. Or if you do try to stick it out, they will probably start to take notice. But I get the sense it's going to be quite a long time. Or if not a long time, just longer than you anticipate. Because you feel as though you have what it takes right now, and you probably do. But again, it's going to take a while for them to notice this. So I get the sense that probably they've had a lot of interns, they've had a lot of apprentices, and people just drop out. They realize it's not what they want, or they just don't stay. So, and you staying, it will prove your seriousness, and they'll start to take notice. Or if you're in a meeting of some kind, you might suddenly suggest an idea, and they're not expecting you to talk, because you're just the intern, you're supposed to be taking notes or whatever, or bringing everyone coffee, and then you say something and it causes them to take notice in you. It causes them to ask you what other ideas you may have around the subject, and it might go that way. I'm hearing a lot of different scenarios of how this could play out, but ultimately it's up to you and what you think is the best for you. So, in terms of how to be confident, like I said before, I don't get the sense that you're not confident. I do feel like this work environment, as though this work environment has probably taken a knock to your self-esteem. And in order to feel more confident in yourself, just know that you have what it takes, and you will eventually get to where you want to be. You might come across a lot of people that won't pay attention to you. They won't see the value in you. And in those moments, you have to know the value in yourself for yourself. Because I do get a sense of like a dog-eat-dog environment. Trying to make your mark in this industry is going to be tough, and it's going to be a long road. And so you're not always going to feel as though you have what it takes. There are moments where you're going to feel like it might be a lot easier to just walk away and do something else. Do something that I will feel more rewarded in, more appreciated in, because there are going to be a lot of low points in this journey, and it's in those points, where you're going to feel like you're not going to feel confident, where you're going to feel like maybe this isn't worth it. But you want this so much, and I know you want it so much. I can feel it, how much you've dedicated towards it. I can sense how much work you've put in this, and how much work you're willing to put in this. But I think in those moments where you're feeling really low, as hard as it is, I think those are the moments where you have to find the strength in yourself, that inner strength, that resilience, like I've said before. There's a real resilience in you. And when you're feeling at a low point, this is when you have to tap into that. That is the moment when you have to realize that there is power in you. There are going to be points where you feel really low and you feel like giving up and walking away and just going for the easier life, whatever that is. But I'm hearing when you are at your lowest, this is when you need to believe in yourself. This is when you need to find the power that is within you. You have every power to do what it is that you want to do. And there are going to be many moments when you feel like you don't have any power. I'm hearing you need to remind yourself why. Why you want to do this. Why is it important to you? Why? Really have a strong foundation in why you're doing this. Why you believe you have to do this. Why do you think this is your purpose? You have to have a strong purpose so that when moments come where you feel as though you have to give up, you can refer back to your reason why you're doing this, and it will motivate you to get back up again. Because like I said, this is going to be a long road and there are going to be a lot of low points. So you have to be able to fuel yourself. You have to understand why this is so important to you. Why it is you want to dedicate your time to doing this and nothing else. Really, really spend time and try and understand that. Because there will be people that will try and stir you away from this path, intentionally or unintentionally. And they're going to be moments where you feel as though you're not valued and that you're not enough. And you have to be able to fuel yourself. So how do you feel confident about yourself? How can you feel confident about yourself? You have to figure out the reason why. Figure out the reason why you want to do the things you want to do. Figure out why it's important to you. Figure out why you should do this and not someone else. Figure out why you're the person who should do this. Why you? Because there are going to be many points where people will look at you and make you question yourself and why it is you're there or why you're doing it. So if you take the time now to figure out those things, when people try and knock you down and make you question yourself, you'll have a strong foundation in yourself, and it won't be able to stir you away from the thing that you want to do. So whenever you're feeling low and feeling like it would be easier to just give up right now, these are the moments that you have to trust that what you're doing is bigger than you. It's not just about you. It's about why you want to do the thing you want to do and what you will do, how that will help other people. A lot of the times I feel as though our reasons for doing things, it's bigger than ourselves, in terms of purpose anyway. Why people do the jobs that they do. I always feel that, yes, it's fulfilling to you, but there's also this aspect of what it would do for other people, what it would do for the community, what it would do for the world. And so when you're feeling like giving up, this is why I think the reading is urging you to build a strong foundation. I feel that is why this reading is urging you to find your reason why this is important to you and why it is you have to do it. Because this is going to give you a strong foundation. This is going to give you an unshakable foundation in committing to what it is that you want to do. And knowing why you have to do this, no matter what comes your way, no matter who tries to knock you off your journey, you will always be able to go back to your why, and it will fuel you to keep going because it is bigger than you. It's bigger than your ego. This is more about what it can do for other people and how it can benefit other people and benefit the community or the world at large, even depending on what it is that you want to do. Always refer back to your reason why. If you want to be confident, figure out the reason why. Why do you get out of bed each day? Why do you feel like you're here? Why do you feel this? Why do you feel this is your purpose? Why do you feel you can contribute to the world? Why do you feel you can contribute to this industry or this world? Ask yourself these questions so that when someone comes to you and asks you these questions with the intention of knocking down your self-esteem, they won't, because you have already built a strong foundation in this and you know why you're here, you know what you have to offer, and you know what value you have. This is how you grow confident, by building a foundation in yourself and knowing why you do what you do. So I hope this reading resonated with you in one way or another. I hope it helps. And if it did resonate with you, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, please comment on what other videos you would like to see, because I'm very open to hearing what other content people are interested in. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share this video with anyone you think it might help. And good luck on your journey and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, if you tuned into this reading, that means you picked the third crystal. You have the 10 of Cups in the upright, the Wheel of Fortune in the upright, the 7 of Wands in the upright, the Magician in reverse, the 5 of Pentacles in the upright, and the 3 of Wands in the upright. So, I get the sense that you are afraid of failure. You're really scared of falling flat on your face. You're scared that the worst will happen to you and that you'll be left out in the cold with no one or with nothing. I don't think you're very trustful of people, or it takes you a while to trust people. And I get the sense that you feel, a lot of the times you feel as though the world is against you, or there's not many people on your side and you have to fend for yourself. And it's hard to let people in and know what their intentions are, whether they really have the best of intentions for you, or whether they're just there for personal gain, or I don't know, just to screw you over, whatever the case may be. It takes you a long time to open up to people, and you're very skeptical of them. I just get the sense that you're very protective of yourself, which is fine. I mean, you really don't know what people are going to be like. So there's nothing wrong in being protective of yourself and your space and your boundaries. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do get the sense that even though you're like this, you wish it could be different. I do feel as though you want an easy life. You want a family, you want a home, you just want to be at peace, you want to be content. But I feel like the world isn't always the nicest place. And even though you are protective of yourself, you do wish that you didn't have to be. You wish that you wish it was easier to trust people. You just wish that you just wish that people didn't do bad things in this world and that it could be a lot easier all round. And I think the devastations of the world, they upset you and they bother you, but I feel like you don't feel as though there's any other choice but to be protective of yourself. But you do wish for a content and peaceful life. That's what you want more than anything. I'm hearing that you're a good person and you have to trust that good things are coming your way. I do really get this sense of just a longing, a wishful feeling of how things could be. And because right now I just you feel as though there's no way out of this bad world that we're in. And you just really long for and wish that things could be different. You wish things could be better in the world. And hey, I'm right there with you on that. But I'm also hearing that even though these devastating things happen in the world, you do have a power within yourself to create good things for yourself. You might not be able to take away the bad things in the world, but you can create good things for yourself. However small they may be, you do have that power to create those things for yourself. I think good things will come your way and they're on their way towards you. But I just get the sense that there's a trust here that you have to have in the world, or not in the world, or like in God, or like in a higher power. Whether you believe that or not, you have to have some sort of trust that good things can still happen. They can still happen to you, and you can still have good things happen in your life, and you can still have small enjoyments. Yes, there's bad things that happen in the world, but there's still good that exists and that you can find refuge in. I'm also hearing that you can't I'm hearing that you can't avoid it. You can't avoid bad things. That sounds really harsh, but I'm hearing that you can't. There's always going to be bad things that happen to us, and there's always going to be bad things that happen to us, but there will be good things that happen to us too. We can't just have all of one thing. It's always going to move from one thing to the other. And I get a sense of control on your part to completely. You really feel bad things happening, and you don't want it so much to the point where you're very controlling. But I'm hearing you can't control everything. You can't control what comes into your life. You can control things to a certain extent, but you can't control everything. I feel like you're very skeptical, and because being skeptical and being very guarded and protective of yourself, as good as that is, sometimes we can be that so much to the point where we don't let anyone in because we're so fearful of bad things happening that we don't allow any good things to happen to us either. You are so scared of something bad happening that you are protective of yourself. And like I said before, it's good to be protective of yourself, but you should acknowledge that being so protective of yourself to the point where you don't even allow any good to come into your life, that is that is a way of being controlling. That is a way of you finding power in the things that happen around us. If you don't let anything in, nothing bad can happen to you. And yes, that's true, but that is also very controlling on your part, because even though nothing bad is coming to you, nothing good is coming to you either. Absolutely nothing is coming towards you. You're not allowing any blessings coming into your life. And although I would say continue to protect yourself, of course, protect yourself, have boundaries, but then also lighten the reins a little bit. That I'm hearing, acknowledge that there are people like you in the world too, who are good and they want a happy life, they want a peaceful life, and they despise the bad things they despise the bad things that happen in the world just as much as you do. And in order for yourself to come into contact with these people, in order to form relationships with these people who are just as pure-hearted as you are, you have to lighten the reins that you have against everyone. Have boundaries, of course. Be protective of yourself and your personal space, your entire being. Be protective of that, of course. But also know that there are people like you out there, and you may be blocking them from coming to you because you're so protective, you're so guarded, your wall is so high up. And I'm hearing maybe lower the wall a little bit, peek over it, so you can see who wants to be on your side of the wall too, so that they could be protected from the bad things that happen in the world too. I mean, it is tricky. I mean, sometimes we can have boundaries and sometimes we can still make mistakes, and people pretend to be something they're not, and we let them in, and then we realize who they are, and then they betray us, or they bring us pain or hurt in some way. And it's important not to shame yourself for that. It's important not to realize that you weren't stupid or naive in letting these people in. It's not a mistake on your part. Sometimes these things happen. People can be so manipulative that they just slip through the cracks, and you think they're one thing and they turn out to be another. And it's important not to let these people, don't feel ashamed for making a mistake. We all make mistakes, and people, every single one of us have been deceived at one point or another in our lives by someone who we thought was a friend, who we thought cared for us. All of us have been deceived by someone who we thought was a close person. And we had to learn from that. But by allowing our experiences with one or a few bad people make us so guarded that we don't let anyone else back in, those people who scarred us with those experiences, they're still controlling us. They're still not allowing us to live our lives because we're so scared of it happening again that it gets in the way of us experiencing joy and pleasantness that we could be having with good people who aren't trying to manipulate us. So I'm hearing that this reading is suggesting that, of course, protect yourself. And yeah, I'm hearing that this reading is saying, of course, protect yourself, be skeptical of people, but there comes to a point where you do have to take a risk sometimes and let people in. I'm not saying if they give you a bad feeling, like if some sort of red flag, you see a red flag in someone, I'm not saying give those people a chance. Trust your instinct, and if someone doesn't feel right, if something feels off, then trust that and don't let them into your life. But if there are people who just want to be your friend or want to get closer to you, and you would like that, but then it's just fear holding you back, I'm hearing that maybe you should take the risk and try getting close with them. Try developing some sort of friendship or relationship with them and see where it goes. And I'm hearing that a lot more blessings you'll be surprised by the amount of blessings that would come from that. And it'll make you think of all the times that you've blocked blessings from coming into your life because of fear and because of trying to control outcomes. And I'm also hearing that you're probably a lot more perceptive than you think. Because one person may have fooled you in the past, that doesn't mean that it would happen again. If anything, that experience has made you more perceptive, and it's made you more aware of certain characteristics or traits that people may have that just ring alarm bells. It makes you more perceptive of characteristics or traits a person may have that you want to stay away from. You might be more perceptive than other people because of your bad experience, and small things that someone may do, it may look like nothing to someone else, but to you it might ring alarm bells. And so I'm hearing that you have to trust that you are actually a lot more perceptive than you give yourself credit for. So even if you do try and let people a little bit in, I'm hearing you should trust that if they do something that puts you off, know that you have the power to then walk away from that. Just because a bad person comes into your life doesn't mean you're tied to them or you're bound to them. You always have the power to walk away at any point where you feel as though a line has been crossed, a boundary has been violated. You, at any point in any relationship whatsoever, no matter who that person is to you, you always have the power to walk away should they do anything that doesn't feel right to you. And I'm hearing that you need to know that. So in order to be confident, I'm hearing you have to give yourself a lot more credit. In order to be more confident, you have to lower your wall down and allow people to come into your life. I'm not talking about bad people who just want to cause us harm, people that actually want to create genuine and healthy connections with you. Allow these people the chance to do that with you. Allow these people at least the chance to try and have some sort of connection with you, and you may be surprised at the outcome. You're a lot more aware than you give yourself credit for. And that if you want to be confident, know that bad people can come into your life, yes, but you can always walk away from them. And they don't have to stay in your life if you don't want them to stay in your life. So in order to be more confident, you have to realize that you have a lot more power in these situations than you know. And manipulative people and people with ill intentions, they want to convince us that we don't have any power, that we are nothing without them and their guidance and whatever it is that they apparently give us. But I think if you want to be confident, know that you can give yourself what anybody else in the world can give you. You can give yourself love, you can give yourself validation, you can give yourself approval. And so when you know you can give all of yourselves those things, you're not so fearful of letting other people in. Because when you know that you can give yourself love and validation and all the rest of it, then you are only letting people in for the sake of liking them for who they are and liking them for the connection that you have with them. When you know that you can give yourself all of these things that people in the past have probably given you, you don't approach people with this need, with this want for them to love you or to keep you safe or whatever it is. Because you know you can give that to yourself. You're really there because they add to your life. They don't give you what you're missing or what you lack. They just add more to your life. And yes, you like who they are, you like having them around, but when you just like people for the sake of what they add to your life and not because they are filling some sort of void or because you feel like you need them, should anything happen, you know you can walk away from this connection because you will still be okay in yourself. You will still know you're a lovable person. You will still know you're a valuable person. And them walking away from you, that doesn't mean you're any less of a person than you are. So if you want to be confident, know that you have a lot of power in yourself and that you can love yourself, you can validate yourself, you can improve yourself. And yes. So obviously that's a lot easier said than done. It's easier to say you can love yourself, you can validate yourself, you can improve, you can give yourself approval, and that's not something you need to seek from other people. So if that is something you're struggling with, try and figure out why that is and try and develop those things within yourself. Maybe I'll do a reading on how to love yourself and things like that, or how to validate yourself and see how that goes. But yes, for the most part, I'm hearing if you want to be confident, know that everything that you want from other people is something that you can give to yourself, and that will take you a lot further than you realize. And it will make you a lot less hesitant to build connections with people or build relationships with people, because you're not entering into those relationships with a sense of lack and with a sense of they're better than me or whatever it is. You know that you are a lovable person in yourself and that you're valuable, and you don't need them to tell you that. So, yes. So yes, that is your reading. I hope it resonated with you in some way or another. Please let me know in the comment section below if it did. And please let me know if you would like a video on how to love yourself, or how to validate myself or something like that, and I'll see what I can do. Also, let me know what other kinds of videos you would like to see on this channel, because I'm very open to hearing what kind of content people would like to see. And if you enjoyed this video and if it helped you in any way, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share this with anyone you think it may help. Good luck on your journey and on your road to being confident. I hope this helps, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.